Do you know that feeling when you have so many ideas that you cannot work on any, and you feel constantly confused, jammed inside? This is what has been happening with me lately. I live in a small hill station in northern India, in the lap of Himalayas, which is also the exile home of Dalai Lama. I shifted here during pandemic, and with the help of my partner, I found my art studio here, which is named as Art Peace Studio. And as you can see, it's because of the surroundings. It's right in between nature, and I couldn't name it otherwise. This place has so much to offer that one can be truly lost in nature. Every day, you will be excited to see what is happening outside. You want to look at the mountains, you want to see the sky. You will be surprised with what all you will see here. The monks around the Tibetan community, which has become a core part of this place, bring so much colors, so many new art forms, which is fascinating. So even if you are in the market, you will be enchanted by the mysterious art forms around you. This is a small clip from Dalai Lama's birthday this year, 6 July 2022, and we are right in front of his house waiting for him to arrive. I hope you enjoyed these small clippings from the culture around me. And I really wanted to show you this because, in spite of living in such a gorgeous place, such an inspirational place, where people would tell me that I'm living my dream life, there was a point I was not able to feel it. There was a point where I felt so stuck that I was not able to move forward. It's like as if your mind and body, they are not in sync with each other. Your mind is producing ideas, your mind is telling you to move, but your body, it would just not be in sync with what is supposed to be done. I love painting. I always loved painting ever since I was a child. And before I hit this point of friction, I would carry my sketchbook everywhere. I would just paint on the wall. I would just wake up at night and see a wall and begin painting. I would just keep one sketchbook, one pen. Even if I don't have water, I would use river water and just begin my process. It would not, nothing would make me question it. I would just begin. But lately, things changed for me. Ever since I began working on a really big project, or I would say a big concept, I started questioning all the wrong things, I think. The larger-than-life concept of the project made me question my own worth. I started feeling really small. I started feeling like an imposter in front of my work. And this constant, non-stop resistance drained me even without doing anything. I would feel that I'm working, but I was not working enough. I felt overwhelmed and stopped creating anything for the same reason. The anxiety of beginning to work was getting so much that my mind started giving me small excuses to just go and do something else in between, I would suddenly get thirsty, I would suddenly get hungry, or suddenly make a call which is not even important, but I'll be like, okay, rather than doing it later, why not now? I would distract myself, and then I'll tell myself that maybe it's too late now, maybe I should just begin it all fresh tomorrow morning. But you know what? When you sleep like that, you don't wake up fresh. You wake up with a lot of anxiety. And at this point, I knew I needed to break my own pattern. I needed to get out of this circle. In order to begin the process of unfreezing myself, I started with reading self-help books. I'm a book lover, so that was the first thing which came to my mind. If you don't want to read a book, you can also begin with bringing awareness through other mediums like listening to a podcast. It was a very important step because if you do not know what is happening inside you, what can you do to solve it? So I was reading Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. I was listening to her TED Talks. For me, it felt like a prayer. And you know, a little trick which helped me? I would keep that book just on my pillow with me before sleeping, so that when I wake up, before anxiety kicks in or that thought that, okay, let's not do this, or maybe let's do it later, that kind of thought kicks in, I would just see the book and begin reading it. So there was no gap in between that. And you know, the good part was that it gave me a feeling of accomplishment just in the morning. So before any negative thought could enter, I knew I had already begun my day on a positive note. So in that way, I had already crossed one barrier. Here I have created a small list, just 3 steps which can help you feel unstuck. I really hope they work for you. They have worked for me a lot of times, and I feel a lot of times they are the simplest things which we often forget, and they work. They work. You also have to believe that they work for you. So here we go. You might have heard this several times, but I have to repeat it because I feel it's a classic. Go out in nature, go for long walks, sit under the tree, probably sit on the branch, and stare at the water body, stare at the horizon, just be with the flowers. Because I feel when you're sitting at the same table with the same mindset, with the same stuck energy, I feel your place also starts holding that energy. So the moment you sit on that chair, you start feeling the same. So you have to break your own pattern by changing the space. So rather than working from the same spot, maybe just work from the cafe near to you, or maybe just sit under the tree, or maybe go to your balcony or terrace, whatever you call that, and work from there. You will allow yourself to breathe. You will allow yourself to form a new pattern. You'll be more relaxed when you do it. So my second trick is a bit creative. It's called as shuffle or shuffle. Basically, I have divided all my work into 2 categories based on energy they take. So my one category is a category which takes more of my energy. I call it as an energy sucking task. And another category, it gives me back more energy. It's like, while I'm doing it, I feel more and more energized. Like for me, any admin related task, like marketing task, all this is my energy sucking task. Of course, I have to do it, but I get more quickly tired when I'm doing it. And for me, painting is my energy receiving part. So when I'm doing it, I don't feel tired. I'm like, oh my god, this is so much fun and I want to do it more, kind of a feeling. So this is how I'm planning my days currently. As I have more energy in the morning to give, I begin my day with an energy sucking task. So basically I do admin task, and the moment I feel tired, which is usually in around 75 minutes, I switch to my energy giver task, which is make a small painting or just make a part of it to start feeling more energized. When I have accumulated enough energy, I go back to my admin task and begin with that. So it's like a magic mantra which I have been applying. So the idea is not to force yourself, but to allow that flow to happen. Coming to the last part, the third tip. I think if you're like me, this tip is really important. As an artist, I have this tendency to seclude myself, to isolate myself from the world so that I can work on my ideas, to work on my paintings. It works magically. I'm not saying it's not right. But every day is different. Some days I'm inspired, motivated, flooded with ideas. But some days I'm just opposite of it. I am uninspired to create. I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't know why I should be doing what I'm doing either. Thankfully, now I have reached the point where I understand it's the part of the process. This is never gonna be consistent, and you have to embrace the unpredictability of the process. And that is what makes it so beautiful, so unique, so human. And once you embrace the ups and downs of it, you can keep going on. You know it's gonna happen, but it should not stop you from working. I also know that it's easier said than done, and that is why the third point comes: find your community. When I was feeling stuck, I tried to discuss this issue with people who are close to me, but also people who have not been on this journey. And the response would be very different than I had hoped for. They would tell me that probably I'm just being lazy, or I don't want to work hard. I was just giving excuses to myself. And I was like, I am not sure, because I want to work. I really want to work, but it feels something is jammed inside me. I don't know how to go ahead of it. It is not at all their fault. They were trying to guide me with their own experience. But to feel understood, I needed people who were also on the same journey, who have also seen the ups and downs and came out of it. I read it somewhere that you are already healing when you feel heard, and I feel it cannot be truer than that. It's important to surround yourself with like-minded people, but sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes you just do not have creative people around you. Like, I shifted to a new place and I could not find any artistic community around me for some time because it's a new place. So then I thought, okay, what do I do? I started making this art at this cafe because I like the work they do. They might not be painting, but they are making really nice vegan dishes, and they are encouraging and empowering local women from their area. Their way might be different, but this is something which I also want to do. I want to empower people. I want them to feel peaceful and happy whenever they look at my art. And that's it. That's how it worked for me. I made some friends, I created some art, and I hope that whosoever comes in that cafe feels the same through their food or my art. I really hope that you take something with this video. If you are feeling stuck, and even a small idea in here can help you, I would be so grateful. Because I know it's not a good feeling. It's not a feeling which you want to live with. And after experiencing all this, I completely believe that life is never the same. It is always changing, it's always flowing depending on what we want. And this is one of the greatest power a human can have. I am really curious and would be happy if you decide to share a part of your journey or tips or tricks which you evolved with time to crack the process. And I feel it can be very empowering for the whole community because sometimes we just want to look perfect and we do not say or talk enough about our struggles. So let's bring strength into each other. I think that will be beautiful.